Hello again, guys. I hope you have the outside doors now created. Now we switch to the inside doors. In order to switch to those, let's see, disable the walls. We see that there are a few doors that have the dimensions here, D2 and D3, which are spread around the house. Some are D2, some are D3. The dimensions are uh, well, basically they are the same, 0.9 times 2.2. But probably it's because they open in the opposite direction. That's why they are called differently. But so in order to do those ones, let's go to this one. We do it exactly as we did the rest. We just enable the rectangle tool because it starts directly from the corner. We go up and we have the dimensions there. So we just type, we see which one is the highest dimension. Okay, we lock it. So we just type 0.9, comma 2.2. We have the dimension, we push it on face, that's it. Again, disable the walls and we have the first door. Now we have this one here, but this one has, as you see, it's there is this part of the wall that we haven't constructed yet. We have only this one. So let's leave this a little bit later in order to construct this, and let's handle this area here, and I will show you why. We have these doors and these openings, but in order to get to them, they seem a little bit complicated to get to, and it is to work like this in SketchUp. The snapping to the lines is not always really responsive. I will introduce to you the next another tool which is called the section plane. Okay, so the section plane tool, uh, which just cuts through the house or through the model, and you will have access to everything you want. In order to have this done and to put it, we need a reference line as a reference where to have the section plane. So I have this reference line, for example, I lock it and I want it put in the middle of this wall. Let's say it snaps to that, and then I just enable the section plane. Playing with the arrows will give me which plan I want to, on which plan I want to make this section plane. I just position it here, and there we go. We have a cut through the house. Now you see it cuts everything, including the picture, so it just cuts absolutely everything. I just disable the walls, and I enable again the tape measurer in order to create my reference line. I start dragging, I lock it, disable the walls, and I go until here more or less 0.15, and then from here I know already the dimensions of my door. I have to see this X, otherwise I'm not in the correct spot. I lock it again pressing the left arrow, okay, and I just type 0.9, comma 2.2, and here I have the door. I push it, and then I have the first door. Okay, it seems that that wasn't the door actually, so we have to, it's no problem, we did a small error. Let's see how big it is. So we have it at like this, so it's a bigger opening. Again, the magic of the push tool is that we can use it in this way. So we just start to push and we go to this, and this is it. We have the opening, which is not a door, it's just a corridor. Okay, so now going on this direction, we see that also here we have a corridor that we need to enable. Let's see, no, this is the door actually, so let's create a door here. We lock it, and then we type 0.9, 2.2. We push that again. We want to have this area done. If it's too complicated to work, then we just select this section plane, we delete the section plane, and we take any line that we have. We already have some lines here. We can use that. I prefer to create my line exactly where I want it. So I enable this. I start dragging and I lock it on this direction and I put it somewhere like here. Again, section plane. I need it on this plane this time, and here we go. Now I disable the walls. I can see that here there is my my next door actually. So this is again a rectangle tool, drag it a little bit, 0.9, 2.2. Again, do not click anywhere, just type. The dimension will appear in the lower right corner. Okay, this is, let's undo. And we do it again. Sometimes it mixes, it recognizes the dimension in the opposite direction. That's why it's important to start dragging and to look at the dimension in the lower right corner to see which one is the bigger one. Now it seems to recognize them correctly. Again, we push on face, walls. Okay, what else we have here? We have only that, we have the door, so we kind of have the same. Switch to this, disable the section plane. It seems that we don't have access from this door to this door. So let's start creating this corridor way. So this is actually a corridor, okay? Again, we drag this until more or less here, it's again 0.9. Rectangle. If I start dragging it up, I will see that I have the dimensions. I'm not sure I'm in the correct spot, so I will prefer to use the other type of doing things. Snap, I lock it, and I don't have this dimension from here, I wanted to have it from down there, 2.2, enter. Rectangle, snap, I push the wall, and I have this line. Okay, I have the opening. Now let's start creating those small walls that are around.